going to go ahead and start on the ground. Just letting yourself find the floor first, making sure shoulder blades are down, center the back of the pelvis. And then, I think you had said it was your left hip, so if it is that left hip, we're going to just start with a little bit of a readjustment. So the right leg would be resting on the floor, left knee pulls in. Just wrap your left arm underneath, right hand comes over on top. So the hands are pulling the knee in, but it's though you're trying to press your shin up towards the ceiling until the right leg sort of floats. So I'm pushing my shin up, my arms are pulling down, pushing the shin, and I'm going to hold this for about 20 seconds. So I'm keeping that pressure on. I can feel this all the way down, like into my seat bone and my left hip, and a little bit into this left hip flexor. So just keep pushing. I'm going to hold for about 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, release. That leg goes all the way down the mat. Maybe just shake it a little bit. And then we're going to do the right side. So right arm comes underneath, left hand comes on top. I'm just making a little bit of a key lock here. And arms pull in, shin pushes up towards the ceiling, but my hands are holding tight. And again, holding for about 20 seconds, letting the left leg begins to get light and floaty. So I'm pushing up with that shin. Keep breathing. And again, this is about 20 seconds. So holding for about 20 seconds. I'm not going to, but hold for about 20 seconds. And then release, let that leg go all the way down the mat. And just kind of shake it off. We're going to go back to the first leg again. If that's the hip, the left side, I think you said that's the left side that hurts. Hand comes underneath. Make that grip. Shin, hands pulling you in. Knee pushing, shin pushing up towards the ceiling, holding steady until you can feel this all the way, maybe into the hip, maybe into the back. Right leg gets light and floaty. Hold about 20 seconds. Keep breathing while you're doing this, but keep that pressure on really strong. After 20 seconds, go ahead and release. And both legs down the mat. Just kind of shake it off a little bit. And then sliding both feet up, keep on going, drawing the knees to chest. That's that Apanasana that we used to do. So the back is rounded, lower waist, back of the waist is in the floor. If you feel like your chin's being pitched up, you can put a blanket under your head. Just get a little rock from side to side. And get a little bit of motion now in the back, letting the feet come to the floor. Arms go overhead, feet go up to the ceiling, looking for a neutral back here. Waist is light to the floor, so we haven't pressed it into the ground. Just a little bit of arch in the lower back. Exhale, feel the back waist press into the floor, making a small ball. Inhale, feet to floor. Arms go back overhead, and this time accentuating that arch. It's almost like a cow back. Exhale is that rounding of the back. Inhale, feet to ceiling, arms overhead, neutral in the waist. Just going to do this a couple of times. Find that rounded back. Inhale is more like that cow back, arching the back. And one more time, exhale. Inhale, finding neutral, just a little bit of light arch in the spine. Exhale, back is rounded, maybe even think cat pose. You could bring forehead to knees. And releasing one last time, finding that arch. And then release, finding neutral, just right in the middle with that back. Take the feet a little bit wider apart so your toes or heels are at least shoulder distance, toes pointed out. Arms to a T. And finding neutral back again. Pressing knees into the floor, lifting the hips up to find that bridge pose. Coming down about halfway. And then again, pressing up. Coming down about halfway. And doing this 5 or 6 times. Pressing up, letting the back of the neck get a little bit stretched. One more time. This time maybe hold. So we're keeping the knees pressing down into the feet, feeling some pressure on the back of the shoulders and the neck. Belly button's kind of pulling into the ribs, and then letting yourself roll down to the floor. Feet back together. And this time draw knees to chest again, giving yourself a little bit of rock from side to side. Taking both feet up to the ceiling, so we'll find that happy baby. You can either bring the hands behind the thighs, you can hold the ankles, you can hold the feet, and then letting the legs press up, and then back down to happy baby. We'll be doing that maybe 5 or 6 times. Push up, draw down, push up. Each time finding that rounded lower back here. As you push up, finding that little bit of lightness in the back of the waist. And after 5 or 6 times, coming down to happy baby, and we'll stay. So you're welcome to rock a little. Sometimes that feels good, but just staying here for a few breaths. You don't want to be in discomfort, but definitely to a place where you're feeling a little bit of resistance in the thighs or hips or buttocks. And then go ahead and release. Bring the soles of the feet together, maybe press the knees apart a little bit, and then release to the floor. Just take a few moments to find neutral back. Arms to a T. And taking both knees over to the left, feeling the right shoulder staying towards the floor. Take a few breaths, right ribs. And coming back to center, take a moment to straighten yourself out. And again, T, knees to the right. Feeling the left shoulder stay grounded. Take a few moments. Breathing left ribs. And coming back to center, just finding a little neutral spot here. And we'll take right foot up to the ceiling. Maybe push through the heel. Feel that little bit of stretch through, or a lot of stretch through the back of the leg. Then the ankle crosses over, making sure the bone of the ankle is all the way to the outside of the left thigh. You use your right hand just to gently press and open. And then pulling the left knee in towards you, holding the thigh, shin, wherever you feel like you can get a hold of. And just stay maybe 5 or 6 breaths. You can even move the knee in as you exhale and let it release on the inhale. Just keeping that back, that hip moving, and feeling the spine kind of round, and then return to neutral. After about 5 or 6 breaths, untangle. Both legs go down the mat, full body stretch here, reaching. And go ahead and slide the feet back up. Left foot goes up to the ceiling. Push through so you can find that hamstring stretch for a few moments. Neutral spine. And then left ankle, bone is on the outside of the thigh. And drawing the knee in. And again, you can make this dynamic. Inhale the knee away, exhale, pulling it. Or if you feel like you want to just stay there, you can, just hold. And then after 5 or 6 breaths, release both feet to the floor, full body stretch again. And then we'll just kind of go backwards, those first 3 that we did. So feet to the ground. As you pull the knees in, arms overhead, neutral back. Exhale, rounded spine. Inhale, exaggerate that arch. Exhale. Inhale, neutral back. Exhale, rounded back. And floor, arch, exaggerated. Doing that maybe 5 or 6 times. Then finishing, we'll bring the knees to chest, a little bit of that rock, finding that Apanasana, just moving it around some. And then releasing feet. Right leg down the mat and coming back to that place that we started, 20 seconds on one side, 20 seconds on the other, and then returning to that left side again, 20 seconds. Release both legs down the mat, and you're done.